Yo, you be so Yadamase. Asylum TV. Yaba your brother and Chende you be so Yaba the Busia the Kakra. Yam Jackson tell. Was not near me, I will wear my head. All the same, no. You move back to break a creabina. Yam my brother on Yafa, number 1, 2 Bimuna. More you feel that about commenting. The baby's a question. Now, if I share page, you know, more to be there, try the share page, you know, share my own maybe on share. It's under they be a using the car. Now, you're here, no, you're that boy, Ebra. Obey more good evening. A woman.
And I do, and
it was for sale.
I can't cry.
Yeah, Dabra, but the coming more cano. More feel as a president near Macagana, it's about my park shipping. Maybe I may be able to come as Isaac, professional members, also obey you come. Obey the evening for a Casafa, Asylum.
Okay.
Asylum, so Kada Asylum on a bad. And bad dinner, you Pabaya or dead, the main pin, we will do criminals. Make a sick asylum.
Okay. Medo Bibiasi, na Mobia Quaba, Omega TV, section way home. Say, Kakra, meet me for asylum, when they say asylum, in Cheshire, and the Geneva Convention, any other conventions are UK and European Union, European countries, people. Idea to acquire and it extends to the whole world. So be back now. Crofo so and now back room now call him and answer what him one. A mind sign in our carbon say at the crow now original so the about chrome no. Yeah, dear Casa and your man no one. I was said was a chronology if a corner. Man assistant. Now, assistant out of man, no. Sa organization, no, and as a convention, no, a boss assistant who buying. Into asylum, here, the biggest immigration rights of this many country, be also US, UK, whatever country. And then some of the asylum, no. Oh, Tresse, a corner office, you know. Either say. Yeah, how? Ewo nyoma numu. Nyoma numu no ebetimi da situation no be a political. Okay. Amayosem into yeah how? And I say yeah tetio. And I tetio of family so. Okay. Ebi a religion. Okay. Osumu insem. And tetio of family so. Ebi a say we a member of a social class. Member of a social class and say a kobo wa odo wa ako owo mu a eno nti no ye titi of family so now a member of a social club or social status e was a membership na kasa we no enya de a etia emra bia okay enti sebi bia
occult group be
the occult group na say a homra ehwewa ntimi and can say OG based on that. However, membership of social group no it varies. It might say, oh yeah, fancy be your band in your sir. Okay. And see, and no cheddar social group, but oh nipper do and no nipper binding tea. To say trocosi, female genital mutilation. And it's a human.
I would show ban.
Yeah. Sir, human in a say oh your bad into a sir until you become a member of a social class or social group. Every time I say, oh, be away, bisexual, and also gay, and I say, a beer, wawusu. Do I know I
could be see I know what the slow no baby them.
They go can know you free. And now a number be okay. Obviously, so far I say, ye do room, ye do so, and I say, ye did ɛhyɛ wɔ neɛ yɛ ano wobɛtumi agyina so ɛde agye baako aka ho yɛ race. Okay, if you're a member of a particular race, and that race is not just say be out to color, but it extends to tribe.
Okay.
Say be a country now was in say be a house and here na a criminal control near the liberty a mammo atina and sheda nyakono.
Okay.
And see and now all this adequate. So a member of those 5 things I can once a year. Obetimi agina so agya Asylum at any time. Okay, political, social, religion, race, sex. Yeah.
Okay. But now I say, Emma, young man jump on them in England baby today. Modern slavery.
Okay.
Obi akafa wo Ghana abada de bayi ejuma na ejuma na bayi no nyimpa no awada nka bi na mo wage awada de mo no afa mo efi no wa afa kwa bi do iye ejuma ne free wọ́n so botumi de sika Asylum.
Say, the meeting I can't find say, Asylum, no, these 5 things, if you are not a member of these things, you can't seek asylum. However, asylum always go with humanitarian protection.
Okay.
Humanitarian protection. Humanitarian protection is so my boy chronic so there to ama omo person omo siki asylum and omo wa here bi but omo here no any sa nyoma numia ya kan wase. Okay, I know yetimi gina so a grant humanitarian protection. So ebi ni say bia ye per se ye pe wakum. Okay, a sign nyoma binti bia I mean Odiobika, but normally so Odiobika they will say yeah the court process mo but which me chese ko na mo tese no court process nye papa nti betimi ayi wa fi ho now it nya evidence obetimi dey humanitarian protection. It's anything unya sa 5 key sources no you can use humanitarian protection, and I say you can argue humanitarian protection, but you have to be very also the lawyer no you anya dia wa obetimi make us own thing but very technical and you need a lot of evidence, and you need a lawyer who is quite experienced in that field. And you said lawyer be and you need a person who's experienced because you need experts in the field. I'll make me report about Ghanaian experts, experts here, psychologists, etc. And that is it. About modern slavery, modern slavery Asylum. However, most of the times now, when wabakruma lawfully and I say even unlawfully, na obi yejuma aketiana also tia unchia wiye and unchia kra na other treatments or the offer and yet a treatment I was employee from you can report that matter to immigration, if it be IECE. Okay, immigration enforcement team be on with my report Salvation Army, another
migrant help,
with migrant help, with police, but I do what I can say before you can take a step in these matters now, just don't do it. I'd seek advice from a lawyer. No one's okay. This is a clear case of modern slavery. Now, my main bread trade. Let me define what modern slavery is. Okay. So modern slavery, I'm not focusing for the actual home office. I actually say you do before or how an answer in a form of work nipa kɔ no onya n'asomdwe na hɔtɔ anaasɛ ne nipa ban no yɛmmu saa nipa ban no a ebɛtumi agyina so yɛngye ntom wɔ ha sei nipa no a ɔyɛ saa no yɛbɛtumi akye no atom life imprisonment. Okay, that's why I make us say over reporting for modern slavery. Seek legal advice before you can go into it, because the perpetrator, there's no limit to the sentence. You can go life. It's a very important matter. And she said, oh yeah, Juma, and I said, you do have a shabby oh yeah, a bit my prostitution, a bit my Juma Kasa.
You are doing without your will.
You are doing something without your will. And see, I know now, I mean, a kind of modern slavery, but there could be elements employer a breach of the employment right, but a modern slavery. Okay. Bia ono ye juma, bibia okay. Uchiao less than the minimum wage. And modern slavery. Yeah. Or report here.
You are because you accepted terms.
Or accepted terms and conditions, but because of more less than the minimum wage, we're breaching Employment Rights Act and that's employment regulations. No. However, and it is modern slavery. Modern slavery, there should be an element of doing something against your will, an element of oppression, and unable to speak out. And those things, no, dehumanize yourself. It can be overworking, okay, and you're sustainable, okay. You don't have enough rest, enough time. It could be the fact that doing certain things that work out say you're not comfortable doing or you're not willing to do. It could be the fact that where you're money into you for a period of time. It could be forcing you to work itself. You know, 1 year may you say and as may you say. These are critical elements of modern slavery. But for modern slavery to be successful in home office, no. Say successful amount of say. But for it to be successful, no, I would say fulfill 3 elements. Okay. First element is an element of recruitment. I also want to say recruit you. An element of transport. And an element of exploitation. Say show so and I say how and I say exploit you. So if you could prove say if a corner or show so no, because your recruitment, your transportation or your commuting to the place and then your forced labor now, then obviously you win the modern slavery case. Sometimes in the corner recruit you na kasana exploit you no, but you could show that you were recruited or you were moved from one area to the other. And yet, necessarily also a migrant, which my Oklahoma say, but now you have Northampton, a local lease, now you use for prostitution and that's a issue on a farm. Okay, you were moved, recruitment, you were transported, and then you were exploited. So if a lawyer can prove these things through the interactions with you, you know, I'll pay evidence, I gather, I'll catch you with the same phone, that's what I catch you and police. Then they give you if it's a reasonable grounds conclusion. Say I don't know what can him say answer a bit messy. Now for your say and you cry now for your amount character now compensation was the amount. Sana modern slavery at Oklahoma say.
Mawi Frida Bashe Maunu doing ye be wash ye good yes yazi. Now as a Boko YouTube sa Boshe the latest Bo Asylum TV. But I did about subscribe na a follow page no. Send me a year can will be no when you see in a year can. I obi mo what we see people asylum na won to mo ye my why.
So I'm not hard to say Sisia Usiki Asylum na Usiki for a period of 1 year. I was say unya krata odi eduma. Na no I was what you say delay na wo mu a every 1 year no and your fault education for fault. What to make sure now apply and pay amount krata odi eduma. but for the first year, no, they won't give you a right to work. You're not eligible for a right to work. But so we seek asylum. Now say, we say a victim of modern slavery, and that's all challenges are a victim of modern slavery. And only the it's more cut out the money than the 1 year. But if it's only asylum, it has to be a period of 1 year before open sabbath me account in cut out the age. So why you say 1 year about still in Sankaya? What I can advise is be a lawyer, no trauma for kissing for no consistently some Sabeka and Krata with the Bay Juman, and that's how that works. Right to work as an asylum seeker.
Okay. Now, what the problem is that we apply asylum now what the one. One more fee can one.
More fee.
One more baby abattle count.
So apply for asylum. Now, one of the things I want immigration rules and I say Immigration Act, FAB section 95 accommodation, your section 4 accommodation or section 5 sections be very at the corner open and right there to home. It is apply for asylum, you qualify for section 95 accommodation. What's that by my baby abetina? No mouse. O jitu mi sobe sna baby a bana ebe mawatina na, and the support will be given. Sikana ne baby a waso tina no, yeah, it can be given. See, so who apply for asylum unya it abai ma baby tina. Okay, so on baby a betina so o put sa support in the abetima tina baby a waso tina baby. So that's how that works. But say you do asylum now be a refugee, now you're a refugee status, and you're buying a penny so because we crack out the age, yeah, see, the support, you can start working and then they can reduce the support that they give you. That's how that works.
Yo, a good idea, you see how the movie free there, show YouTube or Asylum TV, Facebook, or Asylum Omega. So I never share that with not like it, comment it. The subscribers be brave. I'm my yadi, they be ayadi that papa or to them na yada brown. Obi they be a born I was say he seek asylum to Mungo Krum for 10 years. If he's Rumoko Kruma, is a Figana, all the case Togo, will be all the case Abidjan. No, do I come out to him per Simu Bebre? It's no, I want to make a year for Mukakra, not a church in Mukakra.
Okay, say obesity asylum, na say Saka,
when you would get to more.
or get it to my Onyasa refugee status, which is the best cinema the best status you can get in the country. And sometimes I will be down on it, but to be honest, every lawyer in the UK knows that that's the best secured status you can get in the country. Because it's almost impossible for the country to now move you. Say, no, you can't easily get it. Unless you're a hardened criminal, very hardened criminal, say repetitive offending, and some maybe so it's almost like you are a British citizen.
Okay.
This is quite hard. And she said, OJ Asylum, there is nothing that is stopping you from going to your home country. But I think the reason why I'm not if you say, OJ Asylum, I want you to go back to your home country, may stem from the 90s, 80s and the 90s. Ghana for soldier for Ghana for Bibria, or Moba, Beji Asylum, Kuma, the US, no. Do not edge a political asylum.
Okay.
Say, so Mukwa, I mean, that's a JJ name. Yeah.
PNDC.
Yeah, PNDC and stuff like that, no. Mukwa, you become a move by Sergio Majuma, Yabomo, and okay, Calabuli, time, no. And he covered by because of that reason. And if you are seeking political asylum, what you are telling them is that once you enter the country, so far as that politician and I say the regime is still in place, no. Okwa senior bayo. Into aka mana to omutrim no. Say okwa na regime ni so a. Na say oba safely, na che say adeko na kan no. Yeah, and trust me, especially so that corner bar, then they can question your eligibility or the truth in your statement because yeah, enti omumu no na be a makam amana to ni patrim so okwa and now just asylum I want to make because political asylum is different from social or religious or sex or any other asylum that you can seek. Say oji asylum say oh yeah, I mean a member of a social group because if you are free and now your bar and now be a or particular situation be a own and now be visa you can still go back to your country because at the corner yeah Joe Martin Kromase it's not a one-stop thing. We are gay and also bisexual. And so Ghana now almost Abraham. Ghana almost Abraham and I am both. So you can go to Ghana, live in Ghana for 6 months. Nobody will do anything because you're not living that life there. Okay? Over UK are not living this life, no. So you can always go back to your country. You don't have to use to go Abidjan and Nasi. 10 episodes could be able to make up. Dear, all can I say? Udru ha sabra no ombo anasa onye amobi but so ba say a utimi bo sabra no okay apart from political asylum so you minister and so you president now we can have a say udru kroma this year too because they your friend say ato so say oba was say too it's ultimately ko ba perfectly now ko dim komo ba dia yeah that means yeah so I think it's stemming from that political time now mambo be yeah I want trying my abiding free ones and I might make corner. I could create perception self seek asylum. I want to make room for 10 years. 10 years no matter the buy. Because seek asylum crap now within 5 years when you're permanent president and also citizenship. In Tiana I was working for 10 years. In Tiana and Oji asylum but you can still go back to your own country. Nothing should stop you.
Because of the war, I am phobia will move free Zimbabwe. This year in Mugabe. No, yeah, president. What we better go over seek Asylum. Baby, what my room went to my uncle. What's what I watch the BB, what idea will be about catching a British for the more seek Asylum. I could walk. So on the political, what the bar. The way you know, after what the improbable. When the whole that's a part that will seek asylum and to go Kruma to 10 years and sana. Now, about the home Messiano in the lecture room, may not ayatas to begin there. Oh, yeah, the other castle. So, Ebinasa, a bassa de Bia. And say, Bibiaso or Pipia, Ikita one. Oh, they were lawyer. Na kawasa which I know pepe ya mkitai me huni ye nti me pala hwe mam e bi grandpa if you do kwale no go do na go go akam na if you own e be gina airport this
yeah I think about come can say I think so when you second crata we na say what you need to move here it costs nothing to book an appointment with a lawyer. Sometimes there is normally we get a lot of costs. Lawyers get a lot of costs, to be honest, from home office, from police, from other sources. Other times, so because you are doing especially submissions now, your phone is. You can see my phone is sleep mode, and he will be for everybody, but in so afraid. I'll never see any call. See, but maybe 30 minutes calls and stuff like that. Book an appointment and get a time. Speak to the person. So, say na it's here. Mikata say na dinner. What can I do? What can I not do? And stuff like that. No one ya and say a warm room. Okay. Say okay. Asylum laws no very straightforward. A doors there, but a very good with the appetite say ye. We be and why I told me say we seek asylum and go home for 10 years. but it's a practice you're about to honor. And here, Jabia said, "Be the Kohun lawyer, Ubi a political asylum, no Kohun lawyer, no lawyer catching so. Send out the idea.
The monk of Wolfie Power and Sana.
Waiting Yako, and maybe on so a Saturday 18 say, Senate. So always seek an advice from your lawyer before you make any decision. Yeah.
Yo, we free the share page, Asylum Mega. If you support show YouTube now, subscribe to your channel now, Asylum TV. Pay me get Asylum, no, maybe I church made to know, Yabadasi. Now ya jump quick about COS free ya. Says Yana, Abaya, I was no, was a queen. This Yana no. Nama it's in some P either the me will be more wage man be or wage man, but a company will add you one license. Be ma okay, I applicant no wage man or wage man, but wage the company no you about wage one license. Remember, also then or affect or no because of that. The mean pana a company na employer no in a bar no wage license no nipa so no we dwuma all year the mean import that no e ba no mo no too ama o chine bi so pa there o renew no nkrata na etum aye quick ama.
Yeah, I'm saying certificate of sponsorship skilled worker category by especially in healthcare, Kamia is almost 70% of Omo Mabano Enya Ejuma Enye. All because a lot of employers had a big target for themselves.
They are greedy.
Yeah, but Buhana or the news is okay. Menya, I'm bidding for a contract.
Okay.
And see, Menya contract, I mean, any base 20 Mama Yajuma. I paid it for 10 contracts in T, and I'm here in 30. Instead of getting the contract, maybe the fear is that on your contract now, on your Juma, on your conform a choir. But you better definitely say,
okay.
So open conform go.
Open conform but first.
Nothing, any contract never share. And because there is a very big competition for the last 2 years now, a lot of people have entered into the care market in it, and manner is very tight. Contractor Kaoka, I mean, Unya professionals know a year better than within 1 month now, Sakano. It could take 6 months to work around Sanka because it's very competitive. So when we're not or down that because you go find a big say Unya Juma and Mona. There are few people or more employers no Enya a Juma Momo. Okay? Maybe they're about 100 candidates or more say employer no adwuma or ma nipa be 60 or 70 adwuma mo maye 30 no onye adwuma mo or ma report am application for a license na free employer nim and employer structure ama omo ma kan say o ti see an dey do dey ya je me license for me meeting mo dey o question is o omo adwuma dey no be. The Chinese say, oh, Chroma say, Nasa was sign employment contractor. You're not only covered by immigration, you're covered by employment law. Employment Rights Act, okay, itself gives you some special rights, okay, as an employee. And by no means a migrant. And she said, oh, what Juma, and I said, employer now do buy no, or do I share Juma beam? No, it's the contractor. You can still enforce the employment rights. Okay. What I would advise is that you seek an advice from a lawyer to know your rights. Not every situation leads to employment rights and become. So you always need an advice from a lawyer. Most of the times, what happens is if you exposed a lot of things to Ghanaian, especially Ghanaian community now. They take it and run with it. It's very cannot a less effective because Omo can't at the calling train of one was on cash on the Nafi Obi a canassim. Okay. What happens is they say, we migrant as employer now, we're losing a license, but who you are covered. Okay. The next person who will take over contract now has to employ you. Okay. Under a regulation, a friendly 2P, Transfer, Undertaking and Protection of Employees Regulation. TUPE. Okay. And then a book, sir, and Kofkun by say, me Juma, and I'm a employer Juma. Ebia, said the cleaners away the diving. Now your employer will lose the contract into a free work. Cleaners in everyone. No. Next company will take over would have to take the cleaners on. So we are care workers more in a company, an in-house company, and this happens to you. What happens? Okay, the next company would have to absorb you, and that you be. You know, but you the employee don't go there and tell them, say, yeah, oh, Mate say, lawyer BCC money. It takes wisdom, understanding, and negotiation to get you to that point. That's why it's very difficult for most lawyers to share this with other people. It's not that we don't know. We know, but once you expose it too much, people take it and then they abuse it. If I cannot be what you one and say, hey, I say, transfer of undertaking of employees and blah blah blah. Momejuma. Now pay a question per for no so I come home honest lawyer. Then it becomes something other than that, because the law is in the bosom of the judge, but also in the bosom of lawyers. The way I understand the matter, okay, by persuasion, it works better, okay. But if you go and then over to purpose one, it is your own a cup of tea. So there are lots of people we like in employer na juma no dia ma no. Oh, juma ni na say a license finish him and I contract ni finish him. You can exercise your right to be in that position. But there are certain circumstances that right will not apply. Okay, so you need to, and as a lawyer, will need to understand your position first and approach the people and say, hey, in this situation, you have to absorb this particular person. Okay, say, company never take you over, no? How many sponsorship licenses? I'm sure someone focus a question and say, what if company never take you over? No, sponsorship licenses are which must sponsor, because you are not a mere employee. Okay. You are a migrant, and you need sponsorship license to be in the country before you can work. The rules are that if a sponsor loses a license and that 2P process takes over the new employer, we can retain license for the new employer. Now I apply for only licenses are obviously apply for license. I'm focusing for my license. Throughout the time I apply for license, still you remain an employee of the new company. So say license will go through. Now if waiting me absorb about the company, and that license will go through now so absorb about company more. You don't have to pay a penny, a peswa, American pounds, a penny, pounds, yeah, you don't have to pay anything. It goes smoothly. That's why it's always important to let the legal professionals deal with it, because a lot of employees who deal with it becomes more confrontational. There are few people had advised them, say, okay, in this situation you qualify for this and therefore do it. And these people, instead of seeking my advice or my consent to do things, they went to write their letters to them, threatening them and all these things. And unfortunately, the employer had the feeling, say, and therefore,
because of my attitude,
exactly. And see, it is always wise, even if you know the law, pretend you don't know. Even if you know you're right, try to go on a lower tone than an aggressive tone. And see, these are all things which may, as I said, most of the problems are migrants. There's a solution to it, but as a lawyer, you should be very careful in advising which solution to prefer to which person. And so now, one can say, okay. In terms of one of the basis, so always see was not say, well, you see, or employee losing employment, not so normally it shouldn't affect you, but then you need to seek advice to see whether you fall into that bracket so that you bet many company new company needing come on your behalf and get all of you switched in there. So it's better that even as a group of employees, we never come with one lawyer to facilitate the process for you, rather than say we are not in the up him now and I'm baby now it's why because they see a license. Seems like a crab is my car for home. I don't know.
We feel the Bashir na ubi enye bi ahwe ya King's Court Law on office wana ya brother payina other firm na no na other church no urban immigration law, family law, public law ni nyina no so iba won chaya oba solve the problem ni nyina so wada mo catch the unua na share obey CoS asanya no mesi aye ana se yakara yaka yewi duazo obisi ni CoS no oba no so no one oye boy main applicant oba ni so no one ono se oba ye onye edwuma employer ni nye edwuma dema import them no eba afutu na baba
which match you here
oba so oba na
when I mean
the more main applicant no oba
okay
na dependent ni ya bema
okay
and oba na say onwa awara na wo le ba na onwa le bi
okay
and another say onye edwuma and so the dependent on the baby on so to me edwuma bia so no good or pay edwuma bi but this really there oba na onye na ja into the paper na say
okay me ti wasi ya awari for me ni no mobile promise
na wo fi me
omaba oba ni main oba ni skilled worker ana be man independent omaba do kroma say oba ni say onya adwuma ni bi an employer ni adwuma na am say akofa problem mu abusuani nti ompese oba wari be man bi mu
yeah
ana be man so say esa na ne krasa ne be say it's a skilled work category ni say say when you're dependent there are two ways of which you can be a dependent. Okay, the most common way is over. The other one is cohabiting. And she said only obey man only or partners
cohabiting more way
and I make sure she said only oba and abe matna or Ghana for 2 years or more. Okay, you can't say more. Ghana now your friend now as I want to na I do more than 2 years now. Brunei can cohabiting. You form a legal partnership. All those are sharing and I'm sure Nibiano. You boom partnership somewhere away for. All those are marrying. And see, I don't know, so only be at Ghana 2 years, now bet matches only not 2 years. Which may Rakuma say as partners. Okay.
1 year
1 year away for. And no. So for us, you come to the country and you still live together at one address, then the partnership continues. At that address, no person na do I mean no a very important say one ultimately no or no and home every person okay because that is the status of your relationship cohabiting Once you're not cohabiting under one address,
Okay.
it falls. When it comes to marriage, it's a different ball game altogether. You don't have to live under one address to be married. Okay, you can be a bear. 1 month, 2 months, that is normal, especially in this country, and especially if you have to go and work somewhere, more fishing, any other things, you work for 2 weeks and stuff like that. So, marriage itself is not by virtue of you living together; it's by virtue of the fact that you have a marriage certificate. Okay, it is a main applicant, a cultural dependent, so we don't marry more. Then also a divorce. Okay. If there is no divorce, you can't go and tell because for as much minimum marriage. Because our way and yet certificate, it's also a divorce. Before you do a divorce, guess what? The dependent has to consent to it. Okay? It is a dependent has to consent to it. Won't mean a divorce or chroma say, it's okay, and my divorce NTJ for away and from way. No. It has to be a process where the other party is involved. Okay, in Ghana, not dependent on more share. That is fraud. Okay? What do you come up with for? Dependent on you be and answer who can you be or yet person enforce it on his right. You see a lawyer and he said, no, I don't have any claim over this divorce. The divorce is invalid. That's it. So far as he has no clue, he has no representative, no power of attorney, one can't proceed in this movie. Okay, on your catch for that's it. Oh, I mean, that is the criminal aspect of it. It is a me and the country depend on so many when you will be manasibia. They have to be very clear. They have to follow the right route. If it's the first option, which is the partnership or cohabiting, then the route you take is when you're in NTP back, maybe if it is a divorce, if it is a marriage, you have to go through a divorce, either here or back in Ghana. And back in Ghana or here, it has to be, you have to involve the other party. So when you have it made it 6 months. The minimum is 6 months. It might be more than 6 months, but normally minimum is 6 months. Now after waiting a divorce. When in Ghana, they are depending on more, it can be quicker. It seems say kakra meka afa hono. Ti man dependent ne na kumentu because the question anyway. Okay. There's one thing about this skilled worker visa, okay, which eludes a lot of immigration advisors or lawyers. And that thing is notice. If it be Immigration Notice Regulation 2003. Immigration Notice Regulation 2003. And no, a idea or share buying idea to if you can see for so, which is the Home Office, so say. So, by Joe, be quite a free and I say, Obey, yeah, obey the creative things, and I say, obey, yeah. BBH and Prakona born in Kayansa. You have to give the notice. Okay. And notice has to be received, not just giving the notice, has to be received. It's either through the email or the post of the current address of the person, and that's the most last known address of the person. No. And she said, idea why I did be a freaking for her. Look at that project. Even some Java Reno, not or buying the communication for her. Okay, in trim. Copy me because for better say, a trim. In see, Nipacone, Nisse, Nakoma, etu. These are things you obviously seek advice about it, and you can get the solutions up to it. A Yena Sebia, or be a Shena, or any other immigration question and stuff like that. Normally, the best approach is to go to our website, CoScourtlaw.com. www.kingscourtlaw.com and Akubuki appointment. That's the best way to contact us. Once you book an appointment, at least the slot is there. there are a lot of lawyers here who are able to advise you, well qualified barristers, solicitors, legal advisors, everyone. They are here to assist you with your matter. And is a very important matter. Be a offer, I might not be able to pick up because it is busy. We are working 24/7. Unless you are a known client, a victim of our corner, and because we have a case for you, if it's a new client, the best approach is to book an appointment, get you on our system, so that we know that you are the one calling. Then we'll be able to assist you. Tim say, yeah, the meeting I can find in your room or how and
Yo, ya damase the mudamwa when ya the muti the da share Facebook da na no obo ho da man no share page na obi we nya bi wa hwe ya nchalo kra open you last words na futu kakra wo butumi da ma ye nua no ga na fi okọ eduma okasa toto.
Okay. Yeah. So kakra bit maka apa Ghana for and I say game you no more about come and say, I'm not condoning to any frustrations. Make I say oko hamu and can't you be, but you should find a way to express your frustrations, okay? Because say yeah, employer big number. The wish of every employer because onya jumama and onya nisiga. Even if the employer had charged an amount of money to bring you here, which is not something we condone to most of the money the employers will get is the money they get from you working. So a lot of employers I know are fighting. They pay thousands, tens of thousands of pounds to get contracts. Okay, they don't sleep. As far as 11 a.m., I have some employers coming to me to get legal advice about how they go about this contract because the contract, ABR cancel on some of the bidding or tendering and stuff like that, preparing cases for them. They pay thousands and tens of thousands of pounds to get it. And they are having sleepless nights. But the employee knows so and so about if you say, why stranded? Exactly. And some people call employers now, you do matem, you can't answer at your more, you both do anything. It gets the whole system very frustrated. My point is that if you come on a skilled worker visa, it appears as if say, what about a visit visa? All those are on Pratano. You have to find a way through it. We as lawyers, we are doing our best to write to the Home Office, to write to the government, because it doesn't make sense. There are a lot of work available, and a lot of work. Trust me, the House of Lords, they be only making statement say currently there are over 175,000 vacancies in various care homes and hospitals in the UK. But you won't go for so can't you find a solution to this? So this is the way lawyers are trying to write our opinions to the parliamentarians and other people to get a liberal point. And so I would advise everyone, of course our situation, we say you should bear with employers, bear with the system. Because if you are frustrated and all you have is insults, it wouldn't get anywhere. Because you'll be happening, say, but about let's find a way out. So that's what I can say.
Just like the we feel there, but I show YouTube or Science TV. Now share pages or Facebook. About church, which are quiet. There baby are more office work. Obi Shamwa. Which are Kanafa or office live for Tibia.
Okay. Make us say, location, King's Court Law Regis Pavilion, 400 Pavilion Drive, or Northampton. Okoye website and easy way, www.kingscourtlaw.com. kingscourtlaw.com. Okoye abahu ye track right abahu your contact details are with my friend now. Except afraid so with my friend 0208 088 3088.
Should be over here.
0208
0208
088
088
3088.
3088.
And yet, Ghana Vodafone number, a Chromasi number, T. Oh, Ghana, bet me the +44. So, and now, I say WhatsApp line to bet me, I chat to WhatsApp now. But as I said, no, if you are new, I'd rather that you book and we have enough time to talk to you and so that you be on our systems and they are and what go high bet me, idea boy, in terms of same say, can crack a bit.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, come on.